BG Mythbusters features reenactments and interviews regarding many of the City of Bowling Green's myths. The City of Bowling Green encourages citizens to engage themselves in these topics and others by calling 393-3642 with comments and concerns. Enjoy.
It is often difficult to understand how city government operates and what the government is and is not responsible for. As warmer months approach, city staff will start to get numerous phone calls from local citizens regarding various code violations happening throughout the city. In this episode of BG Mythbusters, we'll take a closer look at what constitutes a violation and who to contact if you have questions or concerns.
Hey, look at this. When do you think the Clampet's going to mow their lawn? I tell you, the grass is so high it's all the way over their rusty lawnmower they never use.
I know, they're so low rent. They just make our neighborhood look so trashy. I wonder who we need to call to report them.
I'm sure there's somebody with the city. I'm not sure who, but I tell you what, they need to come out and give them some type of violation or something.
You know, that'd be something good you could take care of today.
How come I always got to do everything?
Because you want to keep me happy?
Yeah, forget about that.
Code enforcement violations come in many forms, including tall grass and inoperable vehicles. You may need to make a complaint about a neighbor, but the reality is not every complaint is about someone else. You must be willing to admit when the complaint is about you. As a resident of Bowling Green, it is your responsibility to maintain your yard and home. Let's talk with a code enforcement officer about what really constitutes a violation. Thanks for meeting with us, Melissa. I'll just have you start by explaining what a code enforcement officer does on a daily basis.
It's actually quite interesting. Our jobs vary from day to day. A lot of what we do is complaints, but we also do other things. We have a City Section 8 program, so we also go out and inspect housing for people that are in that program to make sure that they have quality housing to move into and that it passes all codes before they move in. We have extra time sometimes during our day, and so what we'll do is we take the opportunity to go out and find stuff that would be a violation, and we would pick it up and send a letter on our own without a neighbor having to call in a complaint.
And can you go into more detail about what constitutes a violation and if there's a list available that a citizen could view?
We do have a code of ordinances that tells us what some things are that are allowed and what are not. If you're not really sure if it's a violation or not, you can always call City Central. They'll take your information and they'll give it to the department that it needs to go to. It might be an animal control complaint, or it might be actually a code violation that code enforcement would go and look at. The violations can range from anything to like grass being overgrown, to an inoperable vehicle that has flat tires. So if you're not really sure, you can always call Citizens Assistance or City Central. They'll take your information and they'll give you a number where you can call back and see if your violation is actually a violation and what they've done with it.
And who do you contact if your concern isn't that you are in violation, but maybe more so of your neighbor may be in violation of a code?
Well, the same thing. You can go for yourself or for, if you want to check on your neighbor and see if they've got a violation, you can call City Central. But you can also get on the computer, the internet, any time of day, 24 hours a day, so you don't have to wait for, when we're open, which is 7:30 to 4:30, Monday through Friday. If it happens on a Saturday and you're worried about it, or if you just don't even want to let somebody know that it's you, there's a place where you can go onto the city's website and it goes to code enforcement. There's a drop-down box and you just pick what you're wanting, whether it be animal control or code enforcement, and then you type in a brief description of what that violation you think might be. Like let's say, for instance, I wanted to put my name in. I would put my name and contact information. I would type just very simply overgrown grass and then submit it in. It will give me a number that I can go back to and look online or call it in and check to see what's been done with my complaint. So it's really easy and it's not hard to do, and that way you don't have to wait till you get a live operator.
And what do you look for when you investigate a house with a complaint?
Depending on what the complaint might be is depending on what we would look for. Let's say that you're concerned that somebody's broken out a window in a vacant house next door to your property. Then what I would do as an inspector is basically drive by the property and see if I can see it from the right-of-way. If it's something that's visible from the right-of-way, then I would send a notice to that property owner, what we call a notice of violation. It's only a courtesy letter, but it gives them the opportunity to know that that property has a violation and there's something that needs to be fixed. A lot of times some of the complaints that we get are for things that we can't view. It might be in someone's backyard or behind the house. And the only way that we would actually go and look at something like that is if the neighbor gave us the rights to enter on their property and we could view it from the other property. We don't do any kind of peeking over fences or lifting up tarps and looking for things. It's strictly us being on public property. If a tenant makes a complaint on a piece of property and they invite us in, then we can go that way as well. But we never trespass or anything like that. So it's mainly looking to see, can we view that violation from the right of way, and is it a violation? And then if it is, it's basically making that first contact with the property owner to let them know that they have a violation. Sometimes they're even out of town and they don't even realize it's a violation to begin with. And so once we make that initial contact, a lot of times we just get compliance that way.
And now you mentioned the first step of making a contact after you find a violation. What are the steps you follow after that?
If we've dealt with the person before, we may have contact information for them. Sometimes we'll take that opportunity to just pick up the phone, give them a call and say, hey, we've noticed this. We have a lot of rental property in the city of Bowling Green, and some of those owners own multiple units. So it's quick and easy for us to do it that way. If we know that, we don't know where they are, or it's something where we need to send that notice out, we do that too as a policies and procedures measure. Once the notice of violation has been sent, they are given a certain amount of time to comply, and that just depends. If it's grass, we do 7 days because grass grows really quickly. If it's something where, like we go back to the broken window, that might be 30 days because they may have to order a window and have it special made or something like that. Our main goal for code enforcement is always compliance. It's where if we don't gain compliance from a property owner, that we would then proceed to what we call a citation, and that would have a fine attached to it. We don't like to take that route, but sometimes that's what happens.
Well, thank you so much for meeting with us, and I hope I never find you at my house.
I appreciate being here, and you keep your property straight and you won't see me.
What are you doing?
Reading. How was your day?
Actually pretty good. I have some good news.
Oh, sure, please.
Yeah, I called down to the city, and they directed me to the Neighborhood and Community Services Department. Talked to a really nice lady. It took my complaint. Actually, she said I could have done it online. But they're going to send some code enforcement officers over to take a look at the property next door.
Oh, great. Well, thanks for taking care of that today.
Whose cat is this?
It's ours. It was lost in the neighbor's yard.
Oh, cool.
And remember, if you feel as though you've been issued a citation incorrectly, you can always appeal that citation to the Code Enforcement Board or the CEB. The CEB is made up of 5 dedicated citizens appointed by the mayor. They meet once a month to approve fees and citations issued by the code enforcement staff. For more information on this or any other city program, visit bgky.org or call 393-3642.